The morning light drifts softly through the open door, and a single golden feather rests on the floor, glowing faintly as though touched by heaven itself. Archangel Gabriel's voice enters gently, calm yet full of purpose. You will soon find a golden feather near your door, and when you do, know this heaven is sending you confirmation. The sound of his voice is not like ordinary words. It vibrates through the air, through your breath, through your heart. It feels like something ancient remembering itself through you. He continues, you have prayed, waited, and wondered if your message has been heard. It has. The feather is my answer to you. You take a breath. It feels different, lighter, purer, as though the air itself has meaning. Gabriel's presence surrounds you, not with overwhelming power, but with peace that feels infinite. It's a peace that doesn't demand silence. It creates it. This is not a coincidence, he says, for heaven does not work with chance. Every sign is a language, and you are now ready to understand it. For a moment, the room feels alive. The light shifts, growing warmer. You can almost see the shimmer of wings behind the sunlight. Gabriel's energy is golden and white, soft as a whisper, yet steady as the dawn. He says, this feather means fulfillment. A promise long in motion is finding its way to you. What you asked for is not lost. It's been traveling, guided by faith, and it's finally reaching your world. You can feel the truth of it. The memory of every unanswered prayer flickers in your mind, but instead of pain, you feel understanding. The delays weren't denial, they were direction. The pauses were protection. Gabriel's words reach deeper. When you find the feather, you'll also find yourself at peace with time. Heaven moves not in minutes or hours, but in readiness. You are ready now. A wave of emotion fills you, relief, warmth, gratitude. It's as if a long-held breath releases from your soul. You remember every moment of uncertainty, and suddenly it all makes sense. The universe was aligning behind the scenes, not punishing you with silence, but perfecting the answer. Heaven always answers, Gabriel says, but it answers when your heart can hear. He asks you softly, can you hear it now? And you can. Not in words, but in the gentle hum of life itself, the distant sound of birds, the rhythm of your heartbeat, the faint rustle of wind outside your window. Everything feels connected. Everything feels alive with purpose. Gabriel continues, when I come, I bring stillness. Stillness isn't emptiness, it's space for clarity. I remove noise so that you may hear the truth already within you. You have been searching for direction, but the map was always written on your heart. The feather is your reminder. He pauses as if to let that truth settle into you. Then he says, the golden feather also means peace returning. It is the closure of confusion and the beginning of flow. It may appear physically near your door, your window, or even within a dream. Wherever it appears, it will carry warmth. That warmth is my signature. The light in the room flickers again, and your awareness deepens. You can almost feel the brush of a wing, the soft movement of air. Gabriel whispers, do not chase the sign. Let it come. It finds those who are ready to notice. And you, beloved soul, have finally slowed down enough to see what has been arriving all along. You nod silently, even though your body feels light, almost weightless. It's like floating in golden air. The Archangel's words continue weaving through your thoughts. You have asked for guidance, for confirmation, for a sign that you are on the right path. This feather is heaven's yes. It is not just encouragement. It is a divine agreement that your faith has not been in vain. The moment feels timeless. You could stay here forever, in this space between earth and heaven, where light and breath move as one. Gabriel's tone becomes softer, like a melody dissolving into air. Take another breath, he says. Let it cleanse you. Let go of what you were holding too tightly. Trust that what belongs to you will recognize your light and return in perfect form. His words bring tears to your eyes, not from sadness, but from the deep recognition of truth. You whisper, "I believe." And he answers, "Then you are already halfway there." The golden feather shimmers in your mind's eye. You can almost feel its texture soft, delicate, yet stronger than it appears. Gabriel says, "Feathers are not heavy, yet they lift what is heavy. That is their secret. That is why they are sacred." Then you realize he isn't only talking about feathers. He's talking about you. Your spirit was never meant to carry so much weight, he explains. You are meant to glide through this life with grace, to move with faith, not force. The feather is a reminder to release the burdens that were never yours to hold. He pauses, and the silence between his words feels alive. Then he continues, "When the time comes and you see the feather, do not doubt. Smile. That small act of acknowledgement is powerful. It opens the door for more blessings to follow. You ask in your heart, why a feather? Why this symbol? Gabriel's answer is immediate and gentle, because feathers are bridges between heaven and earth. They carry prayers upward and bring answers downward. They are signs of balanced softness with strength, humility with power, surrender with certainty. That is what I am teaching you." His light begins to pulse brighter, golden ripples expanding in all directions. The air itself hums. You realize the message isn't only about what is coming to you. It's about who you are becoming. Gabriel speaks with clarity now, his tone filled with reverence. You are awakening into alignment. You are learning to listen before speaking, to feel before reacting, to trust before seeing. That is mastery. That is divine maturity. You breathe again, slower this time, and feel energy move through you. It's as though invisible hands are brushing the dust from your spirit. You feel clean, new, alive. Gabriel says, "From this moment forward, the way you see the world will change. You will notice light where others see shadow, peace where others see chaos. That is because your sight is no longer limited to the physical. You are seeing with your soul." Those words ignite something inside you, a knowing that has always been there, but long forgotten. You whisper softly, "I am ready." Gabriel answers with warmth, and your message has already begun its journey. You realize the feather is not something you need to find. It's already on its way to you, carried by divine timing, wrapped in synchronicity. Gabriel adds, "When you find it, it will not just be a sign, it will be a reflection of who you've become. A being of grace, light, and unwavering faith." The air shimmers again, and the light seems to bow before you, as though heaven itself acknowledges your readiness. You feel seen not as a small person lost in the world, but as a soul recognized by the divine. Gabriel's last words for now echo gently. Remember, when you find the golden feather, it is not heaven reaching down to you. It is you reaching up to heaven. You close your eyes, and the sound of your breath blends with the faint hum of light. In that stillness, everything makes sense. The waiting, the praying, the timing, it all led here. The Archangel's message has been delivered, and your soul, for the first time in a long while, whispers back in perfect harmony, "I am listening." Gabriel's golden light begins to swirl gently around you, moving like a soft wind carrying warmth instead of air. Each rotation feels alive, intelligent, purposeful. It touches your skin, then your heart, and finally your thoughts, quieting everything inside you that once felt loud. His presence isn't demanding. It's graceful, patient, tender. He whispers, "Peace doesn't come when the noise stops. It comes when you no longer give the noise power." Your shoulders relax. The air feels thicker somehow, not heavy but sacred, as if every particle in the room carries divine awareness. Gabriel continues, "You've mistaken stillness for emptiness, yet stillness is the doorway to heaven's voice. That golden feather is not a coincidence. It is a sacred appointment between your soul and the divine plan. You close your eyes, and your heartbeat slows. The space within you opens. Thoughts fade like clouds parting to reveal endless sky. He speaks again, his tone deeper, resonating through your chest. I have watched your prayers take form, not as words, but as vibrations of love. You may think you've been waiting, but the truth is, heaven has been arranging every piece. A golden feather is the final sign. It marks the moment when alignment becomes visible. Your mind drifts to moments when you doubted everything. The nights you prayed for answers that never came. The mornings you woke up tired of hoping. And yet, through it all, someone kept you going. Now you realize it was this presence, this quiet companion who never left your side. I never departed, Gabriel assures softly. Even in your silence, I was the pulse behind your breath. Every heartbeat whispered my promise. Hold on. It's not over. Tears begin to rise, not from sorrow, but from recognition. You've felt this before, the invisible comfort when life seemed too heavy. The sudden peace when you least expected it. That was him. And now, his voice feels like a home you forgot existed. Gabriel's tone shifts slightly, carrying strength beneath its tenderness. This message isn't only to comfort you. It's to remind you of your power. The feather is not just heaven's promise. It's a mirror. It reflects what you've become. Light enough to rise above your own past, gentle enough to move with grace, and strong enough to guide others through their storms. The idea settles deeply. The thought that heaven isn't separate from you, that you are a vessel in it, changes something fundamental. Gabriel continues, you are not a seeker anymore. You are a messenger in your own right. Every act of kindness, every word of encouragement you offer, is another feather released into the world. You carry the same light that guides you. The words vibrate through you. You realize that this connection isn't about worship or distance. It's about participation. You are not waiting for miracles. You are co-creating them. And the golden feather is heaven's way of saying, thank you for remembering who you are. He asks you gently, do you know what it means to receive? You pause, unsure. He answers, to receive is to stop resisting. You prayed for clarity, but then you clung to your worry. You asked for signs, but you doubted when they came. Receiving is not about grasping. It's about allowing. His words flow like golden water over stone. You feel your resistance melting, your breath becoming softer. Gabriel continues, when you find the feather, do not question how it came to you. Simply smile and say, I understand. That acknowledgement aligns your energy with gratitude, and gratitude opens doors faster than any prayer. The light intensifies, but not in brightness, in depth. It feels like the room has expanded beyond its walls, like the air itself stretches into infinity. The boundary between you and everything else dissolves. You can sense the rhythm of life around you, the heartbeat of the planet, the distant hum of stars. And within it, Gabriel's voice continues, steady and clear. This is what divine connection feels like. Not fireworks, not drama, but presence. This is what it means to live in awareness. You realize you've been chasing signs for so long, hoping they'd prove something. But now, the sign is already here within you. The feather, Gabriel says, is not outside of you. It's an echo of your soul's readiness. It manifests because you remembered your worthiness. The idea makes your chest tighten, not from fear, but from release. For so long, you've measured worth by effort, by perfection, by struggle. But Gabriel's presence washes that away. He says, heaven's love doesn't need to be earned. It already belongs to you. The golden feather is simply a reminder of that truth. He pauses. The silence after his words feels holy. Then he continues softly. Each time you doubt your path, remember the feather. It carries the frequency of certainty. You don't have to see every step, just the next one. Faith isn't walking without fear. It's walking while listening to something deeper than fear. You breathe in deeply, and it feels like your lungs are filled with light. The tension in your chest releases as if years of worry dissolve in that single moment. Gabriel whispers, "Do you feel that? That's the space where your miracles begin. Not in your plans, but in your openness. You think about all the times you questioned whether heaven heard you, and the realization hits hard. It wasn't a heaven that was silent. It was you drowning in your own noise. And yet, heaven waited patiently. Gabriel says, love never rushes. It waits for alignment, not attention. Now you understand. The reason you will soon see that golden feather I send because you asked louder. It's because you finally became quiet enough to notice. The divine never stopped speaking, Gabriel says. It was just waiting for you to listen. His words echo, and the room feels like a cathedral. The air hums, the light trembles gently, and your heartbeat syncs with something larger. You whisper again. I am ready, Gabriel answers. Then the signs will unfold easily. Synchronicities will align, and what once seemed impossible will appear effortless. That is how grace works. It doesn't force. It flows, he continues. When the feather arrives, hold it lightly. Don't keep it locked away. Place it somewhere you'll see every day. Let it remind you that your prayers were never lost, only waiting for the right door to open. You imagine it resting near your window, sunlight catching its edges, glowing softly, a symbol not of something far away, but of something living inside you. Gabriel says, the feather is a message, yes, but it is also a doorway. When you acknowledge it, you step into a higher vibration of trust. You begin to see the divine not as an external force, but as a conversation happening through you. The awareness feels liberating. For the first time, you're not seeking reassurance. You're experiencing it. Everything feels purposeful, connected, and alive. Gabriel's final words for this moment come like a gentle chord of music. You are not waiting for signs anymore. You are living as one. The golden feather is heaven's reflection of your own awakening. He pauses, and the silence that follows is deep and serene. Then softly he adds, now breathe again. Feel your feet grounded on the earth and your heart open to the sky. You stand between the two worlds anchored in both. That is what it means to walk as light. You exhale slowly, your eyes still closed, your heart radiant. The message settles within you, not as something to remember, but as something you have become. The golden feather hasn't appeared yet, but you already feel its presence, as if the world is quietly preparing the moment it will arrive. And when it does, you know exactly what you'll whisper. Thank you, Gabriel. I understand. Gabriel's golden light moves through you now, like a current, gentle, rhythmic, alive. It flows with your breathing, syncing perfectly with every inhale and exhale, and you realize this is what divine harmony feels like. It's not a concept or a mystery. It's the rhythm of your being when you stop fighting the present moment. Gabriel's voice comes again, softer now, but resonating deeper, like a song sung directly into your soul. Your life was never random. Every silence, every delay, every unanswered prayer was a brushstroke on the masterpiece that is still unfolding. You asked for faith, and I brought you waiting. You asked for strength, and I brought you storms. You asked for clarity, and I cleared the noise so you could finally hear your own truth. You stand still, realizing that every disappointment had a hidden purpose. You remember the nights you thought you were alone, when everything seemed to fall apart. But now, from this higher view, you see that each of those moments pushed you closer to the light you're standing in today. Gabriel whispers, do you see? What once felt like loss was actually redirection. Every closed door was a shield protecting you from something not meant for your energy. The golden light expands outward, filling the space around you with a warmth that feels both grounding and transcendent. It feels like home, not a place, but a vibration that your soul recognizes instantly. Gabriel continues, the golden feather is a symbol of that truth. It comes when you're finally ready to trust that not knowing is not the same as being lost. It's heaven's gentle way of saying, you can rest now. You are safe in the unfolding. You feel the urge to weep, but it's not sadness, it's release. The tension you've been carrying for years begins to melt away, layer by layer. You realize you've been living in survival mode for so long that you forgot what peace feels like. And now, here it is, wrapping itself around you like soft wings. Gabriel's voice deepens. This is what surrender feels like, not weakness, but alignment. When you stop pushing against the flow carries you where you were meant to be all along. You have fought enough. Now it's time to receive. You breathe deeply, letting those words wash through you. Receive. Such a simple word, yet it feels like a revelation. Gabriel continues, receiving is an act of faith. It means trusting that what's meant for you cannot miss you. When the feather arrives, hold it gently. Look at it as a reflection of your readiness, not as a reward you finally earned, but as a reminder that love was always yours. His words echo in your chest. Love was always yours. You've spent years chasing validation, trying to prove your worthiness to others, to life, even to heaven. But now you feel it pure, unconditional love, not based on effort or success or perfection. Gabriel says, you are not loved because you are strong or good. You are loved because you exist. That is enough. For a long moment, everything inside you goes still. You can almost hear your soul exhale. There's no striving left, no fear of doing things wrong, no need to control outcomes, just quiet trust. The kind that feels like sunlight after a long winter. Gabriel speaks again, his voice like honey and fire combined. This light you feel is not mine alone. It's yours too. You carry the spark of the divine within you. Every time you forgive instead of resent, every time you choose kindness over judgment, every time you keep hope alive despite the weight of the world, you are living proof that heaven walks through you. He pauses, letting the truth vibrate in the air. The feather, he continues, will remind you of that connection. You'll see it and remember, I am not waiting for heaven to arrive. I am the place where heaven already exists. Those words land like an awakening. You understand now that spirituality isn't about escaping the human experience. It is about infusing it with divine awareness. You look around your room, and even the simplest things, a cup, a candle, a chair, seem to glow faintly. Everything feels sacred. Everything feels alive with purpose. Gabriel smiles through the air, his voice carrying warmth. When you find that feather, don't just see it as a sign. See it as a mirror. It's showing you what you've become, someone who notices light instead of shadow, someone who listens instead of reacts, someone who believes instead of fears. You realize how much you've changed without even noticing it. Where there used to be anxiety, there's awareness. Where there used to be chaos, there's calm. Gabriel says, the transformation you prayed for didn't happen overnight. It happened in the smallest choices, in moments when no one was watching. Every time you chose love, you invited heaven closer. He pauses, and a soft gust of air brushes your face like the touch of a feather. You've been asking for proof, he says gently. But proof is not what faith needs. Faith creates its own evidence. The feather is not meant to convince your mind. It's meant to awaken your knowing. Those words echo inside you, filling every space that used to doubt. Gabriel's presence feels closer now, almost within you, not outside. His energy hums in the center of your chest. You realize that this connection doesn't depend on seeing feathers or hearing voices. As a living communion that has always been available. He says, even when you don't see me, I am the whisper that tells you to keep going. When you suddenly feel calm in chaos, that's me. When you feel guided to help someone or speak kindness without reason, that's me moving through you. You are never separate from divine presence. You only forget to notice. The golden light begins to pulse with your heartbeat. Each thump feels like a divine drumbeat, steady, certain, infinite. Gabriel speaks softly, reverently. You are entering a new season. One of awareness, not striving. One of presence, not proving. The feather will come as the final symbol, but remember, the real message is already written inside you. You can feel it now, the shift. Something has changed permanently. You no longer feel like you're waiting for something to arrive. You are the arrival. You've become the peace you've been searching for. Gabriel's voice is nearly a whisper now, but each word carries cosmic weight. Your path forward will not be perfect, but it will be purposeful. You will still have days of doubt, but now you know where to return back to the stillness, back to the light, back to me. The feather is not an end. It is a reminder of where to begin again. You close your eyes and place your hand over your heart. The warmth there feels eternal. You whisper, I remember. And Gabriel answers with the gentlest smile in his tone. Then you are free. The air sparkles faintly, golden particles floating and dissolving like breath. You know this part of the journey is ending, but something inside you has only just begun. The Archangel's final words linger, luminous and soft. Carry the message, not just the sign. Become the peace you seek. When others cross your path in darkness, let your light remind them that feathers still fall and heaven still listens. In that moment, the room feels like both earth and sky, both human and divine. You open your eyes, and though there is no feather yet, you smile, because you know it's already on its way. The golden light around you begins to soften, like sunlight diffusing through morning mist. Everything feels slower, sacred, suspended in a moment that seems to stretch beyond time. Gabriel's presence lingers gentle, unwavering like the warmth that remains long after a candle has been extinguished. His voice drifts through the stillness, calm and melodic. Every message I bring has two purposes: remembrance and awakening. A feather is both. It is heaven's reminder that you are never alone, and your soul's signal that you have awakened enough to recognize divine timing. You stand quietly, absorbing his words as though they're being written directly into your being. He continues, for so long, you've searched for signs outside yourself. You asked heaven to speak louder. But the truth is, heaven has always been whispering. You simply needed silence to hear it. That realization touches something deep within you. You see flashes of moments when you doubted everything, the loneliness that felt endless, the decisions that felt like failures, the prayers you thought were ignored. Now they all seem to rearrange themselves into a single image of divine orchestration. Every unanswered question wasn't neglect. It was grace waiting for readiness. Gabriel's tone becomes softer, intimate. You have finally reached the point where faith no longer depends on evidence. That is the highest alignment of trust. You exhale slowly, and with that breath, it feels as though a lifetime of striving dissolves. Gabriel continues, your journey was never about chasing miracles. It was about becoming one. Every time you chose patience over panic, every time you forgave when it was hard, every time you refused to give up, you became a living prayer. And now, the universe responds. His words shimmer through the air like music. The atmosphere around you grows luminous, vibrating with quiet majesty. Gabriel says, the golden feather will appear as a sacred echo of your growth. But remember, seeing, it is not the reward. Living as light is, you close your eyes, and a vision unfolds behind them. A door, bathed in golden light, standing slightly open. Beyond it, you see infinite possibilities, different paths, people, moments waiting to unfold. Gabriel's voice guides you through the vision. You are standing at the threshold of a new season. What lies ahead will not demand control, but cooperation with divine flow. Walk gently, and doors will open on their own. As you step closer to the door in your mind, Gabriel continues, when the feather arrives, whether you find it on your path, in a dream, or within a moment of intuition pause, do not rush to define it. Let it speak in silence. The message it carries will not come as words, but as peace. You will simply know. That peace begins to fill you now. It's subtle at first, like the hush before sunrise, then it expands, radiating outward from your chest. It moves through your body, your mind, and even beyond you, into the space around you, into the unseen. It's as though your energy is syncing with something vast and eternal. Gabriel's tone deepens. Do you feel it? This stillness is your confirmation. This is how you'll know the presence of heaven, not through spectacle, but through serenity. When you feel peace for no reason, that is me. The air trembles faintly, and you can almost sense wings unfurling in the unseen. You hear his voice again, tender but powerful. The world will test this peace. It will try to make you doubt what you felt here. But remember, my light is not fragile, it's forever. Call on me when confusion returns, and I will restore your clarity. Simply whisper, Gabriel, guide me, and I will answer before the words leave your lips. A tear slips down your cheek. It's not sadness, it's awe. You realize how gentle the divine truly is, how much patience heaven has shown while you learn to open your heart. Gabriel continues, there was never a single moment when heaven was disappointed in you. Every detour, every mistake, every fall, it was all part of your education in grace. He pauses, and the silence feels alive, like the universe itself is listening. Then he says, do not hide your light again. You are ready to become what you once sought. Be the sign for others. When they wander, let your calm remind them that they are not lost. When they doubt, let your faith be their proof. You are not just a receiver of messages. You are now a messenger. The words resonate so deeply that you can feel them rewriting your inner story. You are no longer the one who waits for miracles. You are the space where miracles happen. Gabriel's presence pulses gently, and his tone carries a smile. The golden feather is only the beginning. Many signs will follow, because you have opened the path. You are now in rhythm with the divine heartbeat. You open your eyes and glance toward your window. The sunlight flickers in a way that feels intentional. The world looks the same, yet nothing feels the same. Every sound, every movement seems part of a divine dialogue. Gabriel's light begins to expand, filling the entire space around you, until you can't tell where you end, and the light begins. His final message vibrates through that shared radiance. Remember, beloved one, heaven is not somewhere above you. Heaven is within every moment you choose love. The feather will remind you of that truth, but you don't need to wait for it. You can live it now. Speak gently. Forgive freely. Trust deeply. Each act of grace is another feather added to your wings. His presence begins to fade into the golden air, but the warmth remains, woven into the very rhythm of your breath. Before he departs completely, his final whisper reaches you, almost like a secret carried by light. Whenever you doubt, look within. You'll find my light there, waiting. Then silence. But it's not emptiness, it's peace. The kind of peace that feels eternal. You stand in that silence for what feels like forever. Then you take a step, and something shifts the room, your heart, the world itself. There's a faint glimmer near the threshold of your door. You blink. A feather, golden and luminous, lies there as if placed with divine precision. You walk closer, and your breath catches. It looks exactly as Gabriel described, delicate yet radiant, soft yet glowing with inner fire. You kneel, reaching for it carefully, and as your fingers brush against its surface, a warmth surges through you, gentle but undeniable. It's not just light. It's love, alive and tangible. You smile through tears and whisper, "Thank you, Gabriel. I understand." At that moment, the world around you seems to sigh in response, like everything recognizes the sacred exchange that just took place. The feather doesn't fade or vanish. It simply rests in your hand, pulsing faintly, a physical echo of an eternal truth. Heaven listens. you stand taller now. The fear, the doubt, the heaviness all gone. You know what comes next. You will share this peace, not by preaching, but by being. You will walk through your days with light in your voice, compassion in your eyes, and grace in your touch. And every time life challenges you, you'll remember the feather and the angel who taught you how to hear again. You hold the feather close to your heart, and Gabriel's voice returns one last time, no longer from outside, but from within. You are the message, and with that, the light around you brightens until it fills everything, every thought, every breath, every possibility. When it fades, the world remains still and golden. And you, standing there with the feather in hand, realize the truth. The message never ended. It simply became you.